Hey guys, just a quick one really. This one is there. I've just put a little bit more stuff in the bait, which I thought I'd let you know what it is I've put in it, because I know a few of you are interested in doing your own bait and that, so I thought I'd let you know. And I can't let you know everything that's in it, obviously, but I can let you know what I've just done at least. So what I've just done to it is I've just added some Bellican to it. Now I order it in, the Bellican I order in 25 kilogram sacks. So it comes to me in massive sacks, which is a problem in itself because it stinks. So I have to bag it up into kilo to 2 kilo bags, which is most of the time it's in a 2 kilo bag, and then it's air sealed, and then it's put away. Then I just put it away until I need it. Now, because I added seed to this yesterday, it needed a minimum. It needed 24-hour soak in the egg and the milk protein and the actual milk that I added to it yesterday, the baby milks, and also calf's milk. It's had calf milk in powder form and also baby milk in powder form added to it. That's actually in the base mix I do. In this one. Now this is the fruit based base mix that I do. Now, 21 looking at it, it will look very similar to the fish meal one that I do, but there's a lot of difference in them. This one's got fermented shrimp in it, bloodworm. It's got a lot of stuff going on in there. It's got a hell of a lot of stuff. Fermented shrimp, sardine and anchovies. It's got a lot going on in it. Now this one is pretty much just nut and milk protein, and that's what I'm really aiming at. Now I've added a little bit of the fish meal one because over the past few times I've used the pineapple and butyric acid, I've added crayfish, and I've also added sardine and anchovy to it, and it's really done well. It's really done well. It's just really just building on the bloody pineapple really, which well, bloodworm. It had bloodworm in that. Now there's a bit of bloodworm in this, but what I've noticed is the bloodworm, it is a great additive, but it really goes off very fast, very fast. Now I've noticed that over the past about 2 weeks, I've noticed it goes off very fast, unless you use very high amounts of salt, and I think it's the Joker as well that's also sending it off. So it's the minute it's the boilers are done, it gets 24-hour air drying and straight into the freezer, and then once it comes out of the freezer, it's put into a net and it's air dried till it is bone dry, to the point that if you hit it with that, mate, it'll probably bust into dust. Nah, I don't like that. As I like a bait that you can put in your hand and you can squish it. I like a soft bait. I've seen carp react far better to soft baits than harder baits. Now I know they like tiger nuts and stuff like that. It's got tiger nut in this, tiger nut powder, peanut powder, and also almond. It's got all them in this. But it's this is probably the most complex one I do when it comes to baits. It's got yeast in it and it's got also the seeds also got bits. It's got yeast in the seed. It kind of activates when it's in with the eggs. And you'll get bubbles that'll start to keep popping up. If you've ever made wine, you'll know what I mean. All it is it's the yeast that's in there is activated by the moisture in the eggs that are in there, and also the natural sugars. Now the natural sugars that I'm using now is I try to get away as much from synthetic flavours as possible. I'd much rather use honey and stuff like that now if I can do it, which is honey is a natural preservative on its own if you use it right. Now at the minute, if you do look at this for a look, maybe I'll actually be able to see. Now do you see that every so often a bubble will come to the top, and it's not really doing it much now, but it was earlier on. It's the yeast that's in there. Now you can actually see, but just by looking at that, what's in it. Now there's a hell of a lot goodness in that, and it's a I honestly it's just going to be deadly in pellet form. I just know it is. The boilers have already proved themselves, so you're making that boiler into a pellet size food item. That's all you're doing. So it's just really about making as much pellet as I can get now for when I get here, and hopefully I'll be able to use that in solid bags. Now I'm wanting round about a 5mm pellet. Now I'm not bothered if they're longer, but round about 5mm, because then I can always get them then into get me up bait in bottom corner of a PVA bag, and then just put some boilie crumb in and then pellet, and then tie it off nice so it's a nice solid bag. I don't like maybe some bags to be rock solid, like everybody thinks you've got to be rock solid. I don't like that at all. I've watched too much stuff on the internet now about bags being solid, and when they hit that deck, it's like an 8-ounce lead, especially in silt. It just straight into it, and your bag's actually like probably 6-inch underneath silt. So I'd rather it have a little bit of air in it, I never puncture them. I'd much rather it go in and then just actually come down like that, and then just rest. And when I've tested that in the edge, that is exactly what happens. It kind of comes in, but it'll kind of, and then last little bit it'll drop, and it's fine. It's perfect. But I'm telling you, you test it, and you get a fair distance, and where someone can cast across to you where it's silty, and you watch how far that a solid bag that's done tight goes into that silt. It's unbelievable. There's some stuff Rob Hughes did on YouTube about it. Watch it. I'm telling you now, honestly, you'll learn a lot from it. So that's the pineapple and butyric acid and amino, and it's also got some Bellican in there, like I said, and sardine and anchovy. Just a little bit of it, not much, because if you start messing about with it too much, it just becomes too overpowering. At the minute, it smells lovely. It smells nice and pineapple, which I'm going for in the mindset of looking at captures and what fish have been out on, and quite a few fish have been out on pineapple and butyric acid. A couple of them have said pineapple and butyric acid, so we'll see. But it'll be interesting to see if it does all right, because I'm going to fish solely with just my pellet now. I'm not going to bother buying that. I might buy a bit of their house pellet just to add that little flex black to it as well, but I really don't think it'll be needed, to be perfectly honest with you. I think when they get onto that pellet, they're going to love it, and I think I should do alright on it, but we'll see. So that's about it, guys. Check you later.